In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to Airbnb in 5 simple steps. Literally, I'm going to break it down into 3rd grade level so that every step you'll be able to achieve one at a time. If you're brand new to Airbnb or even a seasoned Airbnb host, you're going to want to stay every second of this video because it is going to be power-packed with information. I'm telling you, watch this video over and over again. It's gonna lay out everything you need to get started in Airbnb. Let's start with step number 1, and that is making a decision that you want to do this either full-time or part-time. And then more importantly, do you wanna Airbnb the home that you live in, some rooms, or do you wanna do rental arbitrage, which is a fancy way of saying, we're gonna rent a property from a landlord, they own the property, we're gonna get their permission to put their property on Airbnb. So that's step number 1 is first, decision, and then we can move on to step number 2. Step number 2, and that is we want to go to ChatGPT. Now, the thing here is we want to create a name for our business. You guys are getting into the Airbnb business. You want to have a business. Why? Because it makes you legit. It's not like John Stevenson who's doing an Airbnb. You're talking about an LLC. You're talking about now it actually makes it real. So just ask ChatGPT, create me 20 names for my Airbnb business, and you'll have a name. Step 3, and that is creating an LLC. Seems simple? Very simple. Again, a 3rd grader can do this. They made it so simple, it's point and click now. I'm gonna recommend a state, and this is only my own opinion. I'm not a tax attorney or giving any kind of legal advice, but I will tell you that a lot of my students, and including myself, love the Wyoming as far as the state to get your LLC in. Why? Because it has the protection called anonymity. And what that simply means is that you can get an LLC in Wyoming and only the business name will show to the public. So nobody else can see the actual name of who you are or anybody else that's on your business as a managing member. It gives you that private protection, and that's why we love it. So I'm gonna recommend that, and you go to the Secretary of State, so Wyoming Secretary of State, or wherever you would like, and that's how you create an LLC. Step number 4, you need to get your EIN. This is a 9-digit number that's basically your social for your business. How do you do it? Go to irs.gov. Step number 5, and that is open a business bank account. I'm gonna give you my recommendations, but you can go to any bank that you would like. I'm gonna recommend either Bank of America or Chase or Navy Federal. The reason is these banks tend to give higher limits when you go for business credit. So I'm gonna recommend those 3, but again, that is your next step. The day that your business is actually opened, according to the banks, is the day that you open your bank account, not the LLC. So get the bank account done right away, open it up, probably 5, 10, 15 bucks, you can open up the account, and now you are officially. These 5 steps right here are the beginning stages of getting into the Airbnb. This is called the setup process. Now, the next 5 steps is implementation. Step number 1, and this is picking the city and the state. We call that the market. So we need to pick what area we're gonna do an Airbnb in, right? Because not every area is a great area. I'm gonna give you 5 of my opinion, great cities and states to get into Airbnb. This is gonna be very helpful for you guys. When you're thinking about Airbnb, I want you to think of warmer climates, the South, right? Think of Texas and Florida and Georgia, Tennessee. I want you to think of Arizona, Nevada, bottom parts of California, right? These are great states for Airbnb. Typically, people that are going on vacation go south, not north. The only exception to that would be a ski resort, and then you can go to Pigeon Forge or Chattanooga or even something like the Poconos, right, in Pennsylvania. So other than a ski resort, think south. You will generally do better in Airbnb than those states that are colder. I'm gonna give you 5 markets that I believe are really good if I was starting an Airbnb business. That'd be Nashville, Tennessee, and I'd be in San Antonio, Texas. I'd be in St. Augustine, Florida, Jax Beach, Florida, right? I would be in Fort Lauderdale. These are great markets to get into Airbnb. Generally, the regulations are very low, as well as they are great cities with high occupancy. Step number 2 in the action steps is you got to get airdna.co. Now, there's a bunch of different levels of this service. AirDNA is like the breath in our body. It's the blood that makes us drive. It would be like if you decided to get into Airbnb and literally you said, you know what, I know my car doesn't have brakes, but I'm going to go to work anyway. That's how dumb it would be to get into Airbnb without knowing how to check the market and the numbers. So, but there are the free versions, okay? And then there's the more, advanced markets when it comes to the airdna.co, right, for the services. Don't go with the cheapie. My students do not pay for AirDNA. I've got the $2,000 software for the year, and I give it to them as part of working with me. But here's the deal. You want to be able to check your market. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 things that are extremely important. By the way, I'm giving you this information right now. I'm giving you the goose. I'm giving you the gold. I'm giving you dropping bombs right now because this is what my paid students get. Here's the 4 things you're going to look for on AirDNA. Let's say that you were in St. Augustine, Florida, when you went to AirDNA and you typed in a city. The 4 things that you want to make sure before you move forward with any market is that the occupancy rate, it'll show you right there for the city, is above 60%. The market grade is above 70%. The average daily rate for that city is above $150. And lastly, there's more than 250 people in the city that are doing Airbnb, but less than 10,000, so we're not hitting saturation. There's your, in between there is your market, okay? Step number 3 is once you find that market, you see the market fits all 4 of those, then you gotta go to Zillow and that's where you're gonna find your property, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start sending out scripts. I'll post a link in my description with the actual script that my students use and I've used for many, many years that'll have landlords eating out of your hand. So once you're on Zillow and say you've picked St. Augustine, Florida, for example, you're gonna see all the properties on the right-hand side that are for rent. Okay, now, here's what you wanna do. You wanna make sure that the property has been listed on Zillow for more than 3 months. Why? Because now you have a motivated renter. They're in pain, they've been paying their mortgage, paying their rent, right? And so these renters are in pain. They want to rent and they're dying and they're bleeding slowly. So if we can come to them with a script, okay? And what you're gonna do is click on any property. When you click on any property, you're gonna see an ask a question box. That box is where you click and then you're gonna copy and paste my script there, which is gonna send it right to the owners of the property. They're gonna be responding back to you via text and email saying, hey, let's work together. Let's talk. I'm interested. That point right there, you have a renter, you have a person, a landlord who's now interested. We're not just calling them up out of the blue and say, hey, we wanna Airbnb your property. Send them the script first, get them warm. Now, when they come back and they say, hey, let's talk, then at that point, you take the address and you put it over into AirDNA. You'll be able to check the revenue. So once you post the address into AirDNA, it's gonna have a button down, you'll see it down at the bottom, it says projected revenue. Here's the formula. The projected revenue, you're gonna take that number and you're gonna divide by 12 because that's an annual revenue. You wanna divide by 12 so that'll give us our monthly gross revenue. The only 2 deductions that you'll do from that number after you've divided by 12 is remove $800, that'll include your cleaning and your utilities, and remove the rent. That number that's left over, now you've checked your numbers. You are above 1,500, okay? After you've done those deductions. Where do we go now? Well, now it's time to make a phone call to the landlord. Here's the problem here. You have no Airbnbs, no references, no background, no website, right? No credibility yet. And you're gonna call landlord, I want to Airbnb your property. Hey man, I got my kids and my boo and we got a couple dogs, man. We smoke from time to time, but we keep it on the back. We keep it on the back, man. We won't mess with the neighbors, man. And you know, I'm just like Airbnb your property. We're ready to get put it on short term and make some money out of your house. No, it's not gonna work, guys. You can't do that. Okay, and this is what I hear over and over and over again. This is what I hear people doing. If you guys get to this point of this video right here and you have not given me a thumbs up or subscribe to this video, dude, you don't deserve to have a damn Airbnb. Come on, man. Push the damn like button and subscribe to the channel. Come to you every single day so you can win. Watch this video over and over again. This is everything you need. If you just follow from the beginning all the way down, it's everything you need. When you get to the phone call part, if you guys want help, put the word Airbnb in the comment section and I will personally reach out to you and let's see if we can work together, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'll save you thousands of dollars, thousands of hours of time doing it the wrong way to make sure you're successful. My students are getting deals very, very fast. The ones that are following what I'm telling you, they're crushing it right now. And I want you to also be someone who crushes an Airbnb. So if you want help at this point, put the word Airbnb in the comment section and I personally will reach out to you. God bless, be safe. Watch this video over and over again. Let's roll.